dear students, how are you all? Welcome to your SST class. So yesterday we have finished with the explanation part of Panchayati Raj. We have discussed about the block samiti at the block level, and we have also discussed the district level, that is Zilla Parishad. So today again we are here, we are going to take up the reading part as we usually take, and I am going to tell you what important questions, especially the objective questions, can be framed from each paragraph. So let's start the reading today. Lesson number 5, Panchayati Raj. So just open your books on page number 229. So let's once read the chapter again nicely and keep on underlining whatever I tell you, because questions can be framed from there. So the very first line we have a question. The word panchayat comes from the word panch, and panch means, I have already told you, it means a group of 5 people, although 4 members are there and headed by the sarpanch. So it is just a group of 5 people and we have a panchayat. So please underline a group of 5 people. Panchayati Raj is an ancient concept which provides a system of local self-government. Please underline, it is also the meaning or definition of Panchayati Raj. You can write it that Panchayati Raj system is the ancient system and it lays emphasis on the local self-government. It looks into the matters at the grassroots level, at the village level, at the towns and the cities level. So there we have a Panchayati Raj system. It is deep-rooted in the society and the custom of rural India. So it covers basically village area. Since very early times, it has been responsible for resolving disputes or problems related to water, sanitation, irrigation. So these are some of the functions of panchayats that they used to perform before independence. So please underline, they were resolving the matters related to water, sanitation, irrigation, and even settling disputes between people. So we also have Nyaya Panchayat, which settles down the disputes between the people and just provide the speedy recovery so that the cases are not taken to the court where we have to spend so much of income, time and money. So it just resolves the matter at the village level only. During the British rule, this institution fell apart as the British government did not trust the locals. So the Britishers, they were very selfish people. They did not trust these local people. They thought that they don't know anything how to run the government. So they just appointed their own officials. We have already done it. Let's see. So British government appointed their officials who did not look into people's welfare. They exploited the innocent villagers, and as a result, people lost trust in this type of Panchayati Raj system. And it is only after the India gained independence in 1947 that it was again given the Panchayati Raj system a legal status that we have done. And please underline what was the Constitution Amendment Act. So after India became independent, panchayats came important again. Ours is a democratic country. We all have learned this in previous 2 chapters. Democratic government. Yes, types of democracy we have done, and we have learned that the ultimate power lies in the hands of the people who exercises through their elected representatives, who frames policies for its people, taking into the interest of the society as a whole. So where people participate and have a role in the government, functioning of the government. So please, next, very important, the Panchayati Raj institutions were granted legal status through the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992, and Gandhiji's dream of Gram Swaraj, it became a reality. So he thought that, he believed that the ultimate power should be in the hands of the people of the village. Gram Swaraj. Swaraj means राज्य. किसका राज्य होना चाहिए? People. Village के people का ही होना चाहिए. Everything should be in their hand because they can understand their problems better. So that dream of Gandhiji also came into reality when this legal status was given to the Panchayati Raj system by the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act that was passed in the year 1992 after independence. Just see, after so many years. Okay. And what was it saying? Please underline. Its aim is to toughen the base of Indian democracy by involving the local people in the rural development projects. So what was the aim of this Amendment Act? It was that their ultimate power should be in the hands of people. Democracy should gain importance. So it laid emphasis on the importance of democracy, where people have the ultimate power in their hands. So it emphasized that. Okay, now the structure of Panchayati Raj. We have already done the structure of Panchayati Raj, that it is based on the 3-tier system. 3-tier system we have done at 3 levels it functions. Please underline. The Panchayati Raj works at 3 levels. The Gram Panchayat at the village level, the block samiti at the block level, and the Zilla Parishad at the district level. So this much we have all done, and now you recall remember also. So the table is also given in your books. You can see it is in the form of a flow chart, so it is easy to learn, and I have also just shown it in my video. Then you have two multiple choice question. Let's quickly do that. Punch means a group of dash people. Is it 6, 5 or 7? So according to your book, it's option number A, and the correct answer is 5. In the very first paragraph we have done this. The Panchayati Raj institution was granted legal status through the Dash Amendment Act. Is it 22nd, 72, 73 or the 74th Amendment Act? So just tell me which Amendment Act was passed. So it is, according to your book, option number B, and the correct answer is 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992. We have just done it. Okay. Now the Panchayat at village level. So we will be taking all the three levels one by one. So let's see the Panchayat at the village level first of all. That is at the lower scale. So village Panchayat comprises here. It again comprises divided into three parts. That is, first of all we have the apex body, that is the Gram Sabha. Then we have the Gram Panchayat, and then we have the Nyay Panchayat. We have already done. So let's talk something about the Gram Sabha now. So Gram Sabha is a body of residents. What it is, please underline, and who all are its members. So it's their composition is also there, functions are also there. So please underline. It's living in area covered by Panchayat, and all people who are 18 years of age or above and who have the right to vote are members of the Gram Sabha. So who all are members of Gram Sabha? Again an important question, need to underline and learn also. It may also include one or more villages depending upon the strength of the people. As we have done it, it should be not less than 1000. It elects, now functions are there, you can just write in small functions of Gram Sabha. What are its functions? It elects representatives to Gram Panchayat. Gram Sabha reviews the work done by Gram Panchayat and goes through its account. So it also has to look into the matters or the policies that is framing, whether the Gram Panchayat is following them, it is functioning or according to the policies that has been framed by the Gram Sabha, and it also looks into the accounts that are being settled down by the Gram Panchayat, the lower body. Gram Sabha also has the power to remove a non-performing member. So whatever members are elected by the Gram Sabha for the Gram Panchayat, if it feels that the members are not working accordingly, functioning properly, then it has the power in its hand to remove that person or a member. So these are some of the important functions of Gram Sabha. Hope you have marked it. Okay, now formation of the Gram Panchayat. A story is there between a girl and I have already given the name Patwari, that is a government officer who visits the village to just prepare his voter list. So let's see this conversation between the two. One hot afternoon, there was a knock at Harilal's door. Munni, Harilal's daughter, opened the door. So she is a daughter of Harilal, he is a villager, and her name is Munni. So there is a knock at Harilal's door, and one of the person, that is officer, is there. So let's see. The village Patwari officer stood there. Coming in, he told Harilal that the village Panchayat elections were to be held in a couple of months. So the voter lists were being updated. He began to ask about the people who lived in the house. So we have already discussed how the voter lists are made, who all are included in the voter list. So let's see. She has so many questions in her mind. So just before the elections, whenever the elections are held for the Gram Panchayat or the Panchayati system, then the formalities are to be completed. And what are all those formalities? Let's see. Voter list first of all. Munni had heard that there was something called a village Panchayat. So she was aware of that. She wanted to know more about it. Although she has already heard the name village Panchayat, but then what more about it she wanted to know. Patwari uncle, why do you want to note their names and ages? The village Panchayat elections are to be held soon. So I have to make a list of the names of all the people who will be casting their votes for a Panchayat, and this is known as voters list. क्या होती है voters list? Again you have an important objective question here. What is a voters list? So it is a list in which the names of all those persons who are 18 years of age or above is included, who has the right to vote in the elections of the Gram Panchayat. Voters list, जो vote कर सकते हैं, उनके नाम उसमें add on करते हैं. And who does this job at the village level? The village Patwari, you can say, or the government officer he is. So he visits home to home and he just takes the names of the persons who are living in the family who are 18 years of age and those who can cast the vote. So okay, write my name first. I too shall vote. No Munni, you cannot vote as yet, and only those above the 18 years can cast their votes. Now tell me the names of all the members of your family who are over 18 years of age. Munni was disappointed, but she went on. So she was a girl, she was a little child. She also had a hope that her name will be included, but then she could not vote because she was less than 18 years of age. Okay. You know Bapu's name and age. My mother's name is Kamla Devi. So now she just keeps on telling the names of the family members. So she speaks her mother's name. She must be about 40 years old. Then there is my elder sister Bimla, who is married and stays in Ganganagar. Now very important, see. But the Patwari refused to write Bimla's name. Why? Yes, we have already done, because she is not a resident of that village now, and her name will be included in the city of Ganganagar. There the elections will be held. The voter list of our village panchayat can have the names of only those who live here. So this was the answer to her question. The area of the village panchayat we have already done. How much area or how many panchayats we can have for villages and for how many villages? Let's see. Many questions about the village panchayat came to Munni's mind even as she recited the names of her family members to the Patwari. So, before he could get up to leave, she asked him, does every village have a Gram Panchayat? Very important question. Does every village have a Gram Panchayat? So, let's see the answer. Please underline. A Gram Panchayat is set up where there is a population of at least 1,000 people. Please underline. So, you have a Gram Panchayat only in the village where you have a population of 1,000 people. Otherwise, you will have to merge 2 to 3 to 4 villages till the population reaches 1,000 people. Replied the Patwari, what about smaller villages with a population of just 300 to 400 people? So, small villages are, please underline, are usually clubbed, means intermingled with larger villages, said the Patwari. So, a village panchayat generally functions for about 2 to 4 villages. So, it is included that 2 to 4 villages are included and they combinedly have one Gram Panchayat. Punches and wards. Now we have already done that the villages are further divided into smaller areas and we have given the name of wards to them, and each ward have its own representative too. Let's see. Patwari uncle, I have heard about the punches. Who are they? Asked Munni. Each village panchayat has 10 to 20 punches. Please underline. Each village panchayat has 10 to 20 punches. They are ward representatives. So since the villages are further divided into smaller areas or wards, so total of what we have 10 to 20 punches depending upon the number of wards that has been created. Okay. The Patwari answered, the Gram Panchayat is divided into smaller units. Please underline this. The Gram Panchayat is divided into smaller units. These are called Panchayat wards. The people staying in each ward elect their own Panch. So, people who is staying in that particular ward, he will elect its own Sarpanch or Panch, you can say. Anyone wishing to become a Panch can contest the elections to the Gram Panchayat from the village. The people of the ward cast their votes in favor of the person they want. Whosoever gets the largest number of votes from the ward is elected as the Panch of that ward. So it's up to the discretion of the people. They just can cast the vote and the person whom they want, and if the person gets a maximum number of votes, then he can be elected as the Panch of that particular area. What is the function of these Panches then? Very important question. Munni asked. Please underline, they oversee the functioning of civic amenities in the village, that is, we have already done, which includes roads, sanitation, water, the general common problems that can be faced by the villagers. The Panch of that ward or mohalla is supposed to inform the Panchayat. So it is his responsibility now. The Sarpanch or the Panch of that particular area or ward will have to report to Panchayat, which will further inform to the Gram Sabha and then to the higher bodies. We have done it in the form of a flow chart, if you remember. The Panchayat then tries to repair or provides these facilities. Does an elected person remain the Panch for that ward forever? Again an important question. If once elected, does he remain there forever or on his post? was Munni's next question. No, village panchayat elections are held after every 5 years. Please underline, we have already done it. So after how many years do we have our panch elections? After every 5 years. And new panches can be elected every time, replied the Patwari. Okay. Oh, it's getting late, exclaimed the Pachwari, looking at his watch. I must be going. I have to complete the voter list of our village today. So now I request Muni that I have to go. I am getting late and I have to just complete my voter list today itself, and I have to visit other nearby villages also. Okay, now something about the Gram Panchayat. Who all are the members of Gram Panchayat? Please keep on underlining. The Gram Panchayat comprises ward members or panch, we have already done just now, sarpanch, or there can be up-pradhan and a secretary. ठीक है, up-pradhan क्या होता है? Vice sarpanch you can say. ठीक है, in his absence, in the absence of sarpanch, who performs his functions? Just the up-pradhan, as you have your vice principal in the absence of principal in your school. Okay. The Gram Sabha elects the panches and sarpanch or pradhan. Now, who elects these members? Obviously, the Gram Sabha, the higher body, elects the panches and sarpanch or pradhan. The sarpanch coordinates the activities of the panchayat and is responsible for holding meetings at regular intervals. And now, what are the functions of these panchayats? Please underline. The sarpanch coordinates. Who coordinates the activities? The sarpanch of the panchayat and is responsible for holding meetings at regular intervals. The up-pradhan presides over meetings in the absence of the sarpanch. Then in case sarpanch is absent, then we have the up-sarpanch also, up-pradhan. Then the secretary is not an elected member but appointed by the government. And then we have a secretary also, and now he is not a member of these which is elected by these panches or sarpanches or villages, but then he is a member of a government. He is a government officer. So she is, what is his function? He is the secretary of both the Gram Sabha and the Gram Panchayat. So he is not only belonging to the great this body of Gram Panchayat, but he is also a link between the Gram Sabha and the Gram Panchayat. So that is why he is a government officer. And she is supposed to call meetings and maintain a detailed record of the proceedings. So this is the function of the secretary. Please underline. One mark important question can be asked from here. What is the function of the secretary of the Gram Panchayat or Gram Sabha? So he has to call the meetings whenever required, and he has to maintain a record of that particular meeting. Okay? The Gram Panchayat is divided into wards or into smaller units or areas for administrative purpose, and each ward chooses a representative known as ward member or panch. This we have already done when Muni was asking the question. At least now, important, please underline. At least 1/10 member should be present at the meetings, and 1/3 of the gathering should be of women members. So now after India gained its independence, women were given the right to participate in all the official meetings. So it is compulsory in the meetings of panchayat that 1/3 of the population of women is also essential, apart from the 1/10 members of the other. So now at least 1/10 member should be present at the meetings of the total village, and 1/10 attendance is compulsory for the women also. This plays a key role in making the Gram Panchayat responsible for the implementation of socio-economic development programs. So it also laid on the importance or the strength of democracy, where everybody should have a right to say in the proceedings of the government, even the women, because women can have their own problem, and if they will be there in the meeting, then they can discuss their problems, they will put forth their problems, and betterment can be just possible if everyone is having a equal say in the meeting. So please underline again, very important, the primary duty of panchayat is what? Function is to implement the various community development programs started by the government and fulfill the basic needs of the villages. So 2 mark important question can be there. What is the most important function of panchayat is to just implement the community development programs that has been started by the government from time to time for the villages. Okay? Then you have some common functions. Please underline. Construction and maintenance of roads, we have already done. Irrigation system, water sources like tanks, wells and hand pumps, street lighting and drainages, and parks, public parks, because since village we have irrigation as a main agriculture as a main occupation, so irrigation is important. Water pumps, tanks, tube wells, all these things are very, very important. Promotion and development of agriculture, sanitation system, education and healthcare centers even. carrying out government schemes related to employment generation, primary education, immunization programs, and establishing dispensaries. So whenever vaccination is to be provided, immunization programs, they have to be developed and put forth before the villages by these panchayats only. So organizing health camps, sports and cultural programs, even the trade fairs that are held or whatever cultural programs are being organized to aware the people of the various social evils that we are practicing or that are prevalent in India, like dowry system was there, sati system was there, to just make them people aware of all these social evils. We just keep on organizing various cultural programs. So these are being organized by the sarpanches of the village. Now sources of income, if so many functions they have to perform, if they have to maintain the roads, the irrigation facilities, provide the irrigation facilities, look after the tube wells, if it's not working, then they need money for that. How will it work? Where does it come from? Let's see. We have already done it, please underline. Gram panchayats get funds from taxes on houses, shops and fairs. So whatever houses are there in the village, shops are there and the fairs are being organized, fees on sale and purchase of property and cattle and grants from the state government received through Janpad and Zilla Panchayat. So it also receives grants in aid from the Zilla Parishad, the higher body. From there it gets its income, and from the various taxes that is being laid on the houses, on the land, on the fairs, on the shops, whatever is there in village. From there it gets its income and it spends it on the welfare functions of the village. Then something about the Nyaya Panchayat, the judging body, just like a court. The Nyaya Panchayat, please underline, is the village court whose purpose is to settle minor rows and provide speedy justice. Rows means dispute, and it has to provide a speedy justice within 1 day. It has to resolve the matter. It normally has one Nyaya Panchayat for 1 to 5 villages. So we have one Nyaya Panchayat for at least 4 to 5 villages. It is not that every village is having one Nyaya Panchayat, but then it is a combination of 4 to 5 villages, and for them we will have one court, Nyaya Panchayat. Gram Panchayat elects its members. Now who elects its members? Please underline. Gram Panchayat. It has the authority to impose a fine of rupees 250, but it does not have the right to send any person to jail. So at the maximum, if the problem is so serious, what it can do is it just can impose a fine of rupees 250 on that league person, but it cannot send any person to jail. So this is something about the Gram Sabha, Gram Panchayat and our Nyaya Panchayat at the first level, at the village level. The rest two of the levels, that is at the block level and at the district level, that is Zilla Parishad and Block Samiti, and then the role of the state government in relation to Panchayati Raj system, we will be doing it in the next class. So that's all for today. So I hope you have marked all the objective questions. Try to do the book work at the back of the chapter, and we'll be taking up in the live class on Monday. And a PDF file of question answers also I'll be sending you, that you need to complete in your SST notebook. So do read the chapter and try to learn the objective questions that we have marked. That's all for today. Stay safe, stay home.